It's crazy, thinking how time flies, it goes by, I won't lie. As I look to the past, I rewind, memories racing through my mind. And I see it all the time, I don't mind. See my things that I left behind in favor of a peace of mind. I look and see that it will be alright. When I was a boy, I was scared and alone, so I went to school, then I came back home. Played a bunch of games like Spyro and Crash, riding on the panda till I crashed. I was very fond of Pokemon, I gotta catch 'em all, had a bond with Kangaskhan. Beat the elite, then became the champion, then walked through the room, I'm the upper echelon. Got Chick-fil-A for dinner, mom brought it home, could've been quicker. Naruto in the back screaming, believe it. He beat Zabuza, I couldn't believe it. Gotta go to bed, school in the morning. I don't wanna go, it's mad boring. Wake up and grab my toothbrush. Oh, I'm running late, so I rushed to the bus. Accidentally grabbed my Game Boy and took it with me, so I might as well enjoy the time that I had with it this time. Went back to catching Pokemon on the ride. It's crazy, thinking how time flies, it goes by, I won't lie. As I look to the past, I rewind, memories racing through my mind. And I see it all the time, I don't mind. See my things that I left behind in favor of a peace of mind. I look and see that it will be alright. This boy sat beside me, wondering what I was doing. I said playing Pokemon Elite with joy, cause that's his favorite video game. And then we talked all day. As I got to know him, I knew we had a lot in common. So then I got his phone number. Soon it went from being on the phone to going home and trying to get the chance to come over. Not much later than that, the process would repeat over and over. Met these kids with cards, they were older. They had Dark Magician, yeah, it's over. Face them outside in the breezeway. We all came together every single day. Before I knew it, we were growing. Full friend circle now, where we going? It's crazy, thinking how time flies, it goes by, I won't lie. As I look to the past, I rewind, memories racing through my mind. And I see it all the time, I don't mind. See my things that I left behind in favor of a peace of mind. I look and see that it will be alright. Switch it up like a hard transition. I'm switching my position like a hard transition. At this time, I'm juggling how I would balance my free time while working the 9 to 5. I really don't know how, but wow, was it exhausting. One thing after the next is pretty daunting. Got the same friends from back in my past. I didn't think it would last, but hey, I ain't mad. I got to go to work, so I see them when I can. I'm coming up with a plan to go and see them again. Going to a party at 8, but I'm running late and they all just ate, so they got their drinks and I contemplate, should I take a sip maybe after this plate? What you doing, my guy? We ain't got all night. I know I just arrived, give me a little time. I finished my plate, so now it's time to decide who I want to confide my thoughts to. Then I see a girl in the cut, then I say hi and she says hi while she's getting high. Either way, I've been having a good time. I don't want it all to end tonight. Whoa, look at the time, I gotta go. It's 2 a.m. I need some sleep, more things to eat, and worst of all, can't sleep for long, cause I got work in a few hours. Just got McDonald's, I'ma devour. Call me Nakali, this be my soul food. Thinking Street Fighter, but that's some old news. Anyway, got a few things to do. Get on FL, make a new song, upload to YouTube, that ain't all. List of games I gotta play, a lot on my shelf, ain't touched yet. Backlog's looking rough, can't look at that. New game every month, I ain't got time. Too busy trying to rhyme, these thoughts in my mind. At this time, I'm juggling how I would balance my free time while working the 9 to 5. I really don't know how, but wow, was it exhausting. One thing after the next is pretty daunting. Got the same friends from back in my past. I didn't think it would last, but hey, I ain't mad. I got to go to work, so I see them when I can. I'm coming up with a plan to go and see them again. At this time, I'm juggling how I would balance my free time while working a 9 to 5. I really don't know how, but wow, was it exhausting. One thing after the next is pretty daunting. Got the same friends from back in my past. I didn't think it would last, but hey, I ain't mad. I got to go to work, so I see them when I can. I'm coming up with a plan to go and see them again. So, what should I be searching for? As time passes, we're all supposed to be moving forward in life, moving forward towards some greater goal. So then, what's my greater goal? And what's my end game? For now, I can only think of a few different options. No matter what these things are, we all gotta start from somewhere. And if that's the case, then we gotta get to it. So many different ideas come to mind. Thought about being a music producer full time or just a flat out musician. And I'm currently looking for an engineer job. Gotta get that paper. But what's that one thing that'll make me happy? That I'm not quite sure about yet. Wish I had the answer to that. But for now, might as well start messing around. We moving forward. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the 2021 wrap up. Similar to the 2020 wrap up, I'm just going to talk about a bunch of different things that I've been doing musically throughout this year, plans for next year, and etc. So, not going to do the shout outs this time. I'm hoping you all that I shouted out last year are still following me throughout this year for what I've been doing. And hopefully, if nothing else, you at least listen to this song. So, I won't do that this time, but I will say thank you for all those people that have been listening, new and old. Thank you. So, let's start with this song. This song was different from last year because last year I went for the whole trap style first, then I did like the electronic style second, and then I went for like the more older school like feel third. But this time I wanted to go ahead and switch it. So I went for like an old school feel, then I went for like this modern trap feel, and then I went for the electronic because I thought
what will be a little interesting is to try something different and say, like, let's do a theme this time, a past, present, and future. Anyone that's been with me during my past, I hope you in particular listened to this song. And I hope you recognize the picture that I used for this. Definitely a throwback, along with all the memories that I placed into the past. There's really way too much to actually say in that portion. So I had to condense it into a smaller, digestible chunk. There's probably going to be other songs in the future where I delve into past things, but that's the best I can do with the 2.5 minutes I had without keeping you here for the past alone. So that's kind of why I did that. The present was easy, you know, just kind of going through what's been going on currently. And the future was a little different. So, all right, what else do I have? Sorry, I have to kind of look through because I have all my notes on my phone pretty much. And it's not like this isn't scripted. It just kind of has short little topics so I can see what in the world I was going to talk about. But also, in terms of this song, unlike last year, this year, all of the releases will be put out all at once. So hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, all of the respective parts will be out individually, along with their respective instrumentals, along with this entire track and this entire instrumental, excluding this long wrap up. So hopefully, all that should be out. It's going to take a little time on streaming sites like Spotify, Apple Music, just because it takes about as long as the distributor takes to put them out. So people like Apple Music only takes like a day or two, where other people like Tidal and Deezer take a lot longer. So you can expect to see them on streaming sites too, but the easiest place to listen to them immediately, which hopefully you're listening to it with me hopefully, sorry, releasing this on Christmas Day, you'll hear it on Christmas Day. That's the intent. But if you hear it later, then, well, I hope you like it then. Maybe it'll be 2022. I don't know. But anyway, now that that's done, let's see. All right. So my accomplishments for 2021 musically. I felt like I did a lot this year. I didn't put out a lot, but I've definitely been working super hard to try and really do some different things. I have a whole notebook basically of written out notes or lyrics for song ideas I had that didn't go out. And that thing is like halfway full. Like all the pages are like, or not all the pages, but half that book at least has been filled. I think it took 7 or 8 pages for me to go through this whole 2021 track because it's just so long. So I've really been working. But one of the things that I'm excited for was on the drum and bass side. During that drum and bass side, I've been putting more work into understanding all sorts of different things that I didn't get before. Things like the build up, you know. The build up is so crucial. There's so many sweeps and all these other things that you put into your build up to get you to that drop. And in the drop, there's much more emphasis than I thought too. I used to just in 2020 load up a bunch of drums, put some type of bass up there and called it drum and bass. So it sounded pretty lackluster, but there's so many different things that you could slap onto it to give it that fullness that I'm slowly learning, which that is definitely thanks to a friend of mine. So shout out to Ambience for actually helping me learn more of the nuances of drum and bass. And I hope to be able to bring drum and bass and eventually dubstep to you guys in a more fleshed out manner throughout the course of 2022. So definitely look forward to that. Let's see what else I got. Oh, yeah, another thing that I've been doing really good with are hooks and choruses. Last year, I could tell you I couldn't write a hook to save my life. Now, I believe every single song that I rapped on this year has a hook on it. Every single one. This one in particular has three, one for each part. Or, well, it really has two, because the future doesn't really have a hook. I guess the hook for future lies in this drop. So I guess you can consider that the hook. Otherwise, yeah, I've been working on my hooks and I'm super proud of that. So yeah, been working on it. Breath control was another thing that was very hard last year starting off because I had to kind of do all these different takes and then be like, and it's hard. But I think my breath control has been at least a little better. So it helps me to play around with different flows and stuff a lot better. So that's been coming along. And sorry, I've been kind of reading through my notes to make sure I got everything down that I want to talk about. So I'm kind of on and off looking at that. And another thing that I can say I've been working on is my concepts, my song concepts. I think I've been having a better way of putting them together, which has been tying into the whole like hooks and choruses too. Hooks and choruses definitely make it easier to songwrite for one, because I don't have to sit there and spend as much time like thinking of what am I gonna say for 2 minutes straight with just jam packing bars into it. It's very hard. So back then I would make songs like Flow where I rap for a little bit and then stop for a second and then come back, which was kind of like my break. Self Reflection did that too. And that gave me kind of the length too, because those were like 4 minute tracks. Well, Self Reflection was, Flow was like 2 minutes. But yeah, I've been working on my concepts. If you're on YouTube, you can see end screens and timestamps have been added ever since the Pokemon Cynthia remix came out. That was me trying to play around with YouTube and kind of make my songs more user friendly, I guess, more YouTube like, so I could get my cloud up on YouTube. Same with the hashtags. I've been working on hashtags too to try and push it towards the algorithm. That's why you might see some weird titles like Dimension Shift said something like experimental music in the parentheses, and I've been playing around with the description because I wanted to push it out there to some more people in the hopes that they like it and be like, oh, who's this J-Kaio guy? I should go check him out, right? There's a lot of things that I've been working on in 2021. And I say I'm pretty proud of where I've been or where I've come. But to talk about the things that I didn't end up doing, I know last year I said maybe I'd delve into rock. I ain't doing that right now. There's way too much work that goes into rock. A lot of live instrumentation, a lot of yelling. I don't have any of that in me to do all that yelling and screaming or singing even. I'm not good at singing. So that's something I want to work on in the future too. So we're not quite there yet. Let's see. Another thing I didn't end up doing was add features. I wanted to, but life for me and life for my friends who I want to feature on my tracks. It's hard trying to come together for those things. So I unfortunately didn't get any features, but it's something that I want to work on next year. Same with dubstep. I didn't really get any dubstep out. So just to make that short, those are the three things that I didn't really get to do. So to move on to my plans for 2022 musically, the first thing I want to do is kind of get those collaborations. So I'm going to push to make more music that's easier for people to hop on so that I can at least get one song with a feature on it, or even a song that I make solely for another person or people, because I want to be a music producer. So I want to be able to kind of give them a beat to play around with and see how I mix other people into a beat. Or how can I make a beat for someone else? How can I rap with someone else? A part of why I got on these beats was to kind of put myself in their shoes and see how it feels to be a rapper, but also because I thought it'd be left field and fun. So figured I might as well try it out. So that's why I did that. And another thing I wanted to do was, I should be a little more social than I am as a producer. I gotta get myself out there. So maybe you'll see me in the comment sections of some other musicians' videos or music producers' videos, just so I could kind of understand how to improve my sound and or build other connections. That's what I'll be kind of working on as well. Um, there's a lot of different vocal ideas I have in mind. One being the fact that I want to play around with vocal inflections. You know, Kendrick Lamar is really good at his vocal inflections. So I want to try and be better with my vocal inflections as well. That's going to be pretty tricky, but fun at the same time. So next year, you might hear me sounding all weird, doing some weird stuff. Or maybe you'll see me being like Kanye with the production, adding a whole lot of reverb and delay or some other type of post-production effects to make myself sound really good or weird. So maybe you'll see that too. Playing around with different flows and stuff could be fun. Freestyling off the top. That's going to be a tough one because I'm bad at freestyles, but I'm going to try it. And as for the production, I want more of a focus on the drums for hip hop. I hear that's the importance of hip hop, which it is. So I want to focus on the drums a little more. I want to get more experimental, use more live instruments and all that stuff. So I have a lot of plans for 2021. Last thing I should say that I want to do before I end this is I'm still going to potentially hop on the Hooded Fiends song one day, or one of the Hooded Fiends songs, just to see how I do on someone else's production. So there's a lot I got planned. Hopefully you all enjoyed this. Hopefully this isn't nearly as long as last year's. And if it is, I hope you all enjoyed it. And Merry Christmas to you all. Happy New Year's. See you all in 2022. All right, I'm out.